Welcome to our culinary journey through Spain. You lot better be ready to ditch those soggy fish and chips and dive into the vibrant world of Spanish cuisine. Today, we're counting down the top 10 must-try foods in this beautiful country. We're talking food so good, it'll make you want to slap your mama. But in a good way, of course. So buckle up, get your forks ready, and let's get this fiesta started. Right, you lot, first up is paella. Not that pathetic, mushy rubbish some restaurants try to pass off. I'm talking about the real deal, the pride of Valencia. This ain't just some rice dish, it's an art form. We're talking bomba rice, cooked to perfection in a wide, shallow pan called a paella. You need that gorgeous, crispy bottom layer, the socarrat. That's where the flavor's hiding. Chicken, rabbit, snails. Traditional paella ain't afraid of some strong flavors. And the seafood version? Don't get me started on those prawns, mussels, and clams, all simmered in a rich, saffron-infused broth. Listen, if your paella ain't bursting with flavor, with every ingredient singing, then you've got a disaster on your hands. It's got to be an explosion in your mouth, not some bland mush. This is a dish that demands respect, so find yourself a local joint that knows what they're doing. Trust me, one bite and you'll understand why paella is a national treasure. Next up, we're talking jamon iberico, the king of cured hams. Forget that watery, tasteless stuff you find in supermarkets. This is in a league of its own. We're talking about black Iberian pigs, raised free range on a diet of acorns. That's right, acorns. It gives the meat this incredible depth of flavor, nutty and rich, with a melt-in-your-mouth texture. You'll find it hanging proudly in every bar and restaurant in Spain, and for good reason. It's the perfect snack with a glass of Rioja, or sliced thin, and served with melon for a taste sensation. But listen, don't you dare ruin it with cheap bread. Get yourself a crusty baguette, some ripe tomatoes, a drizzle of olive oil, and let the jamon iberico shine. Now, let's cool down with a classic Spanish soup gazpacho. And no, I don't mean some lukewarm, watery mess. This is a chilled tomato soup, bursting with freshness and flavor, perfect for a scorching Spanish summer day. We're talking ripe, juicy tomatoes, blended with cucumber, peppers, garlic, a touch of sherry vinegar for that zing. It's all about balance, about letting those fresh ingredients shine. Serve it ice cold with a drizzle of olive oil and a sprinkle of chopped vegetables. It's light, it's refreshing, it's the perfect antidote to the midday heat. But let me tell you, if you even think about serving me gazpacho that's been sitting around getting warm, you'll be back in the breakfast queue faster than you can say bloody hell. Chapter 4. Tortilla Española, simple perfection. Let's talk about a dish that's close to my heart. Tortilla Española. This ain't your fancy pants omelette. This is a Spanish classic, made with just a few simple ingredients: potatoes, onions, eggs. The key is to cook the potatoes slowly in olive oil until they're soft and caramelized. You want that sweetness to come through and complement the richness of the eggs. Now, some people like it runny in the middle, others prefer it cooked through. Frankly, I don't care, as long as it's got that perfect golden brown crust and a fluffy interior. Serve it warm or cold as a tapa, a light lunch, or even a hearty breakfast. It's simple, it's satisfying, it's bloody delicious. Chapter 5. Churros Deep-Fried Delights. Alright, sweet tooths, this one's for you. Churros, those long, crispy, deep-fried dough sticks, are a Spanish institution. And trust me, they're better than any donut you've ever had. The secret is in the dough, which is piped into hot oil and fried to golden perfection. They should be light and airy on the inside with a satisfying crunch on the outside. Now, the only acceptable way to eat churros is to dunk them in a cup of thick, rich hot chocolate. None of that watery stuff. You want something you can really sink your churros into. It's the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. A sweet treat that'll have you licking your fingers and begging for more. Chapter 6. Patatas Bravas spice up your life. Now, let's turn up the heat with patatas bravas. These crispy golden potatoes are a staple of any good tapas spread, and for good reason. They're all about the sauce, a fiery blend of smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, garlic, and a touch of sweetness. It should have a nice kick to it, enough to make you sweat a little. The potatoes themselves should be cooked twice, once to soften them, and then again to crisp them up. They should be fluffy on the inside with a satisfying crunch on the outside. Don't even think about serving me patatas bravas with ketchup, you hear me? That's just an insult to this Spanish classic. Now, for those of you who like a bit of a gamble, let me introduce you to pimientos de padrón. These small green peppers are like the Russian roulette of the tapas world. Most of them are mild and sweet, but every now and then, you'll get one that's fiery hot. It's all part of the fun, right? They're simply blistered in olive oil with a sprinkle of salt, which brings out their natural sweetness. If you're lucky enough to get a spicy one, don't worry. Just grab a cold beer and embrace the heat. Next up, we're heading to the Galicia region of Spain for a dish that's as delicious as it is visually stunning. Pulpo a la gallega. We're talking about tender octopus, cooked to perfection and sliced into bite-sized pieces. The key is to tenderize the octopus properly, traditionally by beating it against a rock. But a good chef will have their own methods. It's then seasoned with paprika, which gives it a beautiful smoky flavor and a vibrant red color. A drizzle of olive oil and a sprinkle of sea salt are all that's needed to finish this dish. It's traditionally served on a wooden plate, which adds to its rustic charm. One bite and you'll be transported to the rugged coastline of Galicia. Now, for those of you who like your food rich and hearty, let me introduce you to fabada asturiana. This bean stew from the Asturias region of Spain is not for the faint of heart. We're talking about large white beans, slow-cooked with a variety of pork products, including chorizo, morcilla, Spanish blood sausage, and pancetta. It's a true celebration of all things porky and delicious. The beans are cooked until they're creamy and tender, and the pork infuses the broth with its rich, smoky flavor. It's the kind of dish that sticks to your ribs and warms you up from the inside out. Serve it with a crusty bread for soaking up all that delicious broth and a glass of full-bodied red wine. Finally, let's end our culinary journey on a sweet note with crema catalana. This classic Catalan dessert is similar to creme brulee, but with its own unique twist. It's a rich, creamy custard flavored with cinnamon and lemon zest and topped with a crisp layer of caramelized sugar. The key to a perfect crema catalana is in the contrast between the smooth, velvety custard and the satisfying crack of the caramelized sugar. It's traditionally served in individual clay dishes, which adds to its rustic charm. One bite and you'll be transported to the sun-drenched streets of Barcelona. There you have it, the top 10 must-try foods in Spain. From the vibrant flavors of paella to the simple pleasures of a perfectly cooked tortilla, Spanish cuisine is a feast for the senses. Make sure to try these dishes on your next visit and let us know your favorite in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more delicious content.